Hello everyone, welcome to Local Learnings. In this video, we are going to look at the NCERT solutions of the second chapter of the Indian Economic Development, Indian Economy 1950 to 1990. First question, define a plan. A plan means working out of strategies and programs in advance for fulfilling an objective or determining or deciding in advance. That is what planning means. It is a detailed proposal for doing or achieving something. Second question, why did India opt for planning? India opted planning because it helps in sorting out how the resources of a nation should be put to use efficiently and economically so that the rate of economic development can be accelerated. It helps to solve the basic problems of an economy and also helps to achieve the desired goals of the economy with sector development. Here, economically means saving time and cost. Planning was opted because it allows optimal utilization of resources, which becomes economical and accelerates the growth and solves the basic problems of the economy and helps the country to achieve the desired goals. Third question, why should plans have goals? Plans should have goals or objectives which the country wants to achieve in a specific time period. Without any aim, a nation would not know which sector of the economy should be developed. Fourth question, what are HYV seeds? HYV seeds or high-yielding variety seeds or miracle seeds are the seeds which increased the productivity of agriculture. It allowed the farmers to harvest 2 or more than 2 crops a year. It was introduced in India during the Green Revolution or New Agricultural Strategy. Fifth question, what is marketable surplus? Marketable surplus is that part of the agricultural produce which is sold in the market by the farmers. That means the part of agricultural produce which is produced for commercial purpose. Sixth question, explain the need and type of land reforms implemented in the agriculture sector. So first we can look at the need for land reforms. Why do we require land reforms? It is required for the abolition of intermediaries such as zamindars, to provide land to the tiller or to the original owner of land, regulation of rent, security of tenure, to provide ownership rights for tenants. Then which all are the types of land reforms? First one is land ceiling. Land ceiling means maximum land holdings one can hold is fixed by the government. Then consolidation of holdings, that means a grouping together of land into a single compact block for cultivation. Then cooperative farming. Farmers forming cooperative societies for selling their produce. I have explained all these terms in the explanation videos of this chapter, so please do watch those 4 parts before watching the NCERT solutions. The link is given in the description. Seventh question, what is Green Revolution? Why was it implemented and how did it benefit the farmers? Explain in brief. Answer. Green Revolution or Wheat Revolution is a large increase in crop production achieved by the use of artificial fertilizers, pesticides, and HYV seeds. It is also known as Wheat Revolution or New Agricultural Strategy or NAS or Seed Fertilizers Water Technology. What all are the reasons for adopting Green Revolution? The reasons are growth rate was very low, increasing inequalities, droughts during 2 consecutive years, import of food grains became difficult because USA denied to supply foods to India, PL 480, and the war with Pakistan. With what all are the benefits of Green Revolution? Green Revolution increased agricultural productivity and production, increased the income and provided employment opportunities to the people. Eighth question. Explain growth with equity as a planning objective. So, what is economic growth? Economic growth is the increase in the total amount of goods and services produced in a country during a particular time period. It is denoted by the increase in GDP. Equity means a reduction of inequalities and provision of social justice. These are the two main objectives of planning in India. When both of these aims are clubbed together or combined together, it is called growth with equity. Ninth question. Does modernization as a planning objective creates contradiction in the light of employment generation? Explain. Answer. Modernization is a planning objective meaning use of latest technology. This substitutes labor-intensive techniques with capital-intensive techniques. Advanced technology requires less labor per unit of output. This modernization creates unemployment. That's a problem. So, modernization contradicts employment generation. This gives rise to inequalities in income and wealth in the economy. 10th question. Why was it necessary for a developing country like India to follow self-reliance as a planning objective? Answer. On the eve of independence, India was poor, stagnant and backward. Self-reliance means reducing imports and enhancing the production and productivity of the economy, becoming self-reliant. That means increasing the capacity of the country to produce all the essential basic needs of the country on its own. No sectors of the economy were developed, so it was important for India to be self-reliant, to reduce the dependence on foreign countries, to substitute imports by domestic production, to promote exports to earn maximum foreign exchange earnings, to accelerate the economic growth. So these were the needs why India must be self-reliant. 11th question. What is a sectoral composition of an economy? Is it necessary that the service sector should contribute the maximum to GDP of an economy? Comment. So what is a sectoral composition? So the contribution made by each of the sectors of the economy in the GDP of a country is called sectoral composition of the economy. The question also asks, is it necessary that the service sector should contribute the maximum to GDP? Yes, it is necessary that at the later stages of development, the service sector should contribute the maximum to the total GDP. The increase in the contribution of tertiary sector or service sector to GDP denotes the economic development of a country. 12th question. Why was public sector given a leading role in industrial development during the planning period? Answer. Public sector has been playing a very significant or important role in the development of industries in India. They created strong industrial base to solve the basic problems of the economy, development of infrastructure, to promote regional development, to promote equality, to substitute imports, to promote exports and foreign exchange, to make economies self-reliant, to promote economic growth, and to achieve all the goals of the economy. So these points tell why the public sector was given a leading role in industrial development, what was the need for it, and what was the role of public sector in industrial development. 13th question. Explain the statement that Green Revolution enabled the government to produce sufficient food grains to build its stocks that could be used during times of shortage. So Green Revolution means it refers to the tremendous or large increase in the agricultural production and productivity that has come with the introduction of new agricultural strategy or NAS. It transformed the economy of scarcity into an economy of plenty. Grain revolution was successful for wheat, rice, jowar, bajra and maize, and the points supporting grain revolution are rise in production. Through grain revolution, the farmers were able to harvest two or more than two crops a year, which led to the rise in production as well as enhanced the productivity of agriculture. This made India self-reliant and self-sufficient in food grains, promoted the commercialization of agriculture, so the subsistence farming was changed to commercial farming, then reduced the need to import food grains. That means India became self-sufficient. 14th question. While subsidies encourage farmers to use new technology, they are a huge burden on government finances. Discuss the usefulness of subsidies in the light of this fact. Answer. Subsidy is an economic benefit granted by the government to domestic producers. This strengthens their competitive position against foreign companies. It helps the farmers to acquire latest technology inputs, but the government has to take the burden of financing. There is a scope for improving the resource use efficiency by reducing subsidies. That means if the government reduces the subsidies, then they can use the resources for other areas where the development is required, and that would be more appropriate and efficient. So while the subsidies encourages the development of industries, domestic industries, it is a burden to the government's finance. 15th question. Why, despite the implementation of grain revolution, 65% of our population continued to be engaged in the agriculture sector till 1990? So why most of the labor force was engaged in agriculture sector even after the introduction of grain revolution? This is due to the fact that the industrial sector and the service sector or tertiary sector were not fully developed and did not absorb the people working in the agricultural sector. 16th question. Though public sector is very essential for industries, many public sector undertakings incur huge losses and are a drain on the economy's resources. Discuss the usefulness of public sector undertaking in the light of this fact. So the question asks, even if the public sector enterprises incur huge losses, what all are the usefulness or what all are the positive points that supports public sector? Answer. Even if many public sector undertakings incur huge losses, they are very useful in the areas of strategic concerns and hazardous chemicals. In the case of defense and safety of the country, public sectors are very useful and helpful. Significance of public sector: provides a strong industrial base, that means provides the base for the industrial development, develops the sectors, all the sectors of the economy, promote equality of income and wealth and social equality, social justice is provided, substitutes imports and promotes exports and hence earns foreign exchange, develops backward areas, that means reduce the inequalities or regional disparities, provides employment opportunities and develops infrastructural facilities such as railways, roadways, waterways, etc. 17th question. Explain how import substitution can protect domestic industries. So import substitution means developing the domestic industry, so the production of the goods and services within the country is enhanced and developed. Import substituting industrialization was the objective of the second 5-year plan. The Mahalanobis strategy of development was based on import substitution. The government encouraged the domestic industries. The development of home industries or domestic industries increased the contribution of industries to GDP, which led to economic growth. This earned foreign exchange earnings to the country as exports were promoted. The foreign exchange saved was to be used for the developmental imports such as capital goods, sophisticated technology, etc., which were used in domestic industries which developed the home industries. The government took measures to develop domestic industries by providing concessions, subsidies, etc. It created a protected market and large demand for domestically produced goods. 18th question. Why and how was private sector regulated under the IPR 1956? So IPR is Industrial Policy Resolution. So the answer is private sector was given minimum role in IPR 1956. The government kept an indirect control on the industries in the private sector through industrial licensing. The new industries can only start operations after obtaining license. So even if the public sector was given more importance by the IPR, the private sector, the government or the public sector kept a control on the private sector through licensing. So that's all about the NCERT solutions. So the description of this chapter, the explanation of this chapter is given as 4 parts, and the link will be given in the description. So please do watch that to get a clear-cut idea about this chapter. So I hope this video is very helpful for you. So please do comment your queries in the comment section. Please do like, share and subscribe my channel and press the bell icon to get notified whenever I upload a video. So thanks for watching. Have a nice day.